By your command.
Woo! Hello, everybody. Another week down in the big old 2026, and we're already into February because it's cold. Yeah, JT, I know you're like, Dave, it's not cold where you're at. I mean, it only was 29.
I know that was like my high for the day.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it actually hit around 29, 28 here in the Tampa area.
Yeah.
And, you know, for down here, that's pretty damn cold, dude. For down here. That below
Right.
freezing is cold in Central Florida. And all the iguanas, I didn't know if you know about this in Central and South Florida, mostly South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, down there. I don't see any iguanas up here. Lots of cute little lizards run around and stuff, but not the big ones, right?
Right.
They fall out of, they go into cold shock. They don't die,
Yes.
but they
Yes.
go into
They
shock.
slow
and they
way down.
Yeah, they just fall out of the trees. So they've been rounding up thousands of them, dude, to get rid of them. They got like 2,000 in like one day. The governor or the mayor down there or something said, hey, go round them up, dude. It's fine. Because they're invasive species anyway, but because people use like pellet guns and stuff or whatever to trap them.
Yeah.
I think, don't quote me on this. If you Florida people down there can quote me that maybe I think you need a license or to at least tell the city or get permission to go, you know, walk around and collect them, especially like on golf courses with all the trees. Oh, they love the golf courses. But yeah, they
go ahead.
I see you got something you need to show us real quick.
Yeah. I just wanted to share it, you know, because I found this really cool comic, and it shall be mine shortly.
So I got mine for $1.50, or was it 50 cents?
$1.
I don't have
plus the shipping, I think, right?
Well, I bought some other comics with it to make it worth it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But that's signed,
what do you mean?
Dude. It's signed.
This is worth it. Yeah. So it's signed. Jerry, 2015. Interesting year.
2015. Very interesting. Oh, look, it's a special like mine, a Comic-Con exclusive.
Limited edition, #1. Yeah.
Interesting.
Signed here.
Interesting, dude.
Yeah.
Well, congrats. I mean, because it's like
that's at the back. I mean, it's in very good condition. I don't see CGC giving me more than like a 3 on this, but we'll see. See, you got some shelfware there,
dude. But it's a signed copy. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, it is a signed copy.
Look, can you get a certificate with it?
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's some coverware. This is the
let
best
me get
part.
this straight, though.
This
You're
is the
going to
best
have
part.
to buy this
certificate of authenticity. It's number 111 of 200. 200 were printed.
But you already put money in for this 2 years ago.
Thereabouts, yeah. 2 and some change.
Yeah. Let me we're gonna get
never showed up at my door.
Show just a second.
But it will now. It will now.
655 days ago. Plus 12 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming up on almost a 10-year anniversary here, or an 11-year anniversary.
14-year anniversary for the original.
Well,
2 years.
I'm talking about yours. The signed edition. It's going to be coming up on 11.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's actually a long time ago now, isn't it?
I mean, it's great when you're going to finally get it and you have to pay for it twice.
Yeah, but this one is going to come with a certificate of authenticity.
Nice.
And it'll be a signed copy. I mean, how can you turn that down?
Yeah.
It's almost like 2 signatures kind of makes it real, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can't deny it.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Anyway, we've got a real comic to talk about.
Yeah,
Excuse me, a really good one.
Oh, and you know what? Also, though, I was going to. We're doing Space Ghost, everybody, and then Cartoon Planet for everybody who's old enough. JT, do you remember Space Ghost in the Cartoon Planet days?
I
do.
mean, not vividly, but I
Yeah.
know their existence.
Let me show you this little clip here. If I can pull this off without screwing it up, because sharing the comic is on a different browser, right? And I just wanted to show you a clip from Cartoon Planet.
This just came in from the Cartoon Network execs to Cartoon Planet, blah, blah, television excellence, yada, yada, Saturday morning production. What?
I am not working Saturday mornings.
I've always been a company guy, but Saturday morning, this is ridiculous. Get the boss man on the horn.
Cartoon Planet has added an hour-long show at 8 a.m. Saturday with a top 5 cartoon countdown and the usual chuckle fest.
That's disgusting.
Cartoon Planet, 8 a.m. Saturday on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, and then you even get a little trailer for a Speed Racer there. Nice, huh?
Right. Yeah. I remember that commercial.
Oh, you do remember that?
Yeah. And I remember the voice with, the bug and all that. So. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
Long time
is
ago
losing
now.
patience.
I mean, really, long time ago.
Yeah. All right. Let me see if this is working. I've got to, because it's another browser, I'm trying not to add to the stage, then go back. And there we go, folks. We can finally get started on this. Sorry for the delay there. So, anywho, we have been featuring Space Ghost for the last couple of weeks, and we went from 67 to 87, and now we're all the way up into 97 with, I thought it was a Cartoon Network. They just presented, I guess they let them do it. This is Archie Comics, and man, I had a bunch of the Archie comics when I was a kid. I love Jughead, Betty and Veronica.
Right.
And so this is a fairly typical cover. It's got a lot of detail in the back, featuring Dino Boy, which we'll take a look at it because Space Ghost is actually in this one. But this is a pretty fast paced. That's why we were kind of delaying a little bit, show you a few things at the beginning of the show, because we probably won't be on this too long, but we'll try to make it fun best we can. But I do like the laser blasts here. Those are kind of cool. Other than that, it's a pretty basic cover, just him flying around, but I like the up close. You're like, yeah, he's got a good tan going on, Lots of stuff in the background. And the ship, they're keeping it real. It's still orange. I must have screwed up. I think back on the first one we did, I was thinking it was white, but I guess it was orange the whole time. And I went back and watched some of the old ones, which you can find them here on YouTube. There's little sparkly stuff for your kids there, if you want it. And okay, so JT, right away, what do you think about the art compared to what we've been seeing?
This is pretty on par, I think. I think it's still pretty close to the original. I can instantly tell who Space Ghost is and our chimp friend.
Yeah.
Easily. So
it's
we'll see. I mean, you've only given us a page.
right, because you haven't seen this yet, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So I kind of put you on the spot there, but I just wanted to get instant reaction of what you think. As soon as you see the first couple pages, it's not too far off. And I mean, this is 10 years from the last one we did last week.
Mm-hmm.
the Comico one, and then it's pretty much the same almost. There's not a lot of changes. And you and I were very impressed with the coloring from last week, how they did that.
Yes.
It was like
it was like the 60s version, but like the remastered edition, except not horrible with random CGI characters and, you know, yeah, not the Return of the Jedi version of it, but more like the Star Trek TOS remaster.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with it. And the background drops look like the old school Star Wars drops, paintings, murals type of thing. Of course it is, but it had that look to it, and then in the contrast with everything. But this is good. I like Space Ghost here. And you got a little blip or bleep. I don't know, how is it? Is it bleep or blip, everyone? Yes, FKC, back when Cartoon Network was great. Yes, I totally agree. So Jan and Jace are actually doing some jutsu. And looks like Jan's throwing old Jace around like a little rag doll there. And Space Ghost's like, oh, you know, it's a little training exercise going on. Just kind of cool.
Yeah.
So they're just, you know, hanging around, not doing too much. And we've determined that the chat even agreed with us through the 2 issues we've seen. Blip has been pretty much, well, outside of Space Ghost as well, kicking ass, right? Blip has been like the hero. And they actually mention it here as well, sooner or later, somewhere in here. All right, you know, not much going on, but they get a distress call, which that didn't take too long. But look what we get here. Look way over here in the back corner. The detail. A lot of detail here. Over in the back corner, you get some shrubbery.
Oh, you do. It is very subtle.
Yeah,
but you do. So it's a priority 1 distress call from an asteroid belt that they've been studying. Okay.
Yeah, I guess they're out. What do you think? They're out there doing scientific stuff before they get into any Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise. Yes.
I don't have a good enough Scottish accent to let that one one go on for too long.
On a Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise. Anyway, so they fly out of the I guess, okay, so they're on the Ghost Planet. That's his hometown, right? But they were out and doing scientific stuff. They get the distress call. It's all pretty basic, but I like the detail of the artwork here. They put a lot of time and effort into making these rocks and the lines and putting stars out there and little stuff out there in space, the blue stuff out there. So that's pretty cool. And they're sticking to, I mean, almost to a par for what Space Ghost and what they look like, JT. I mean, there's nothing different that I've seen at all. Sticking to the lore of how they look, they didn't try to change anything. You know, it seems like it's going to be pretty, like you said, straight up.
Well, if you're going to take a property from decades past, just be faithful to it, because there's a reason you're going back to it. If you're going to take the name and not be faithful to it at all, it's not worth the time.
Sure.
And you're going to alienate the fans, and you're not going to make the money you think you're going to make. This is a modern lesson, right? These people that wrote the original 60s and then the 80s and then the 90s versions knew that. They didn't need to be told. And so now you get things like Amazon's Lord of the Rings, Kurtzman Trek, a lot of the modern Marvel stuff, the MCU phases and all this. You know, it just, they want to take it and appropriate it for their own designs that have nothing to do with the original. Okay, we'll just make your own new stuff. Well, if you can't do that, get out of the room.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with changing a few things. If you want to do costume designs a little bit, or upgrade weapons, or upgrade the ship, or create new villains. That's cool.
Well, you're always free to make new villains.
Yeah. And But so far here, I'm liking the artwork and the color and this. I mean, it's pretty good stuff.
Now
Not
they
a lot
do
of
modernize it some. They in the page before this, the speech bubble from Space Ghost said, according to the computer, most of those asteroids are composed of iron ore. That's a little bit more high tech than I would have thought the spacecraft was for. I don't remember the Phantom Cruiser being quite so adept with things like that. You know what I mean? It brings the technology up a little bit without ruining it. I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was a good little touch.
Yeah, and they bring us some science into it, like like you're saying. They're analyzing the materials are out there. They're analyzing the asteroids. Space Ghost is talking about the asteroid belt's caused by an energy vortex. So
Yeah.
we're getting some sci-fi stuff here. And then Bleep is like T, which he speaks. It's always in monkey language, correct?
Yeah.
But Space Ghost, we found out, and he'll do it here sooner or later, that when they talk to Bleep, he understands them. And apparently they act like they
It's like
understand
Chewbacca.
him.
It's like they understand Chewbacca.
That's funny you made a Star Wars
Kind of
reference.
thing.
I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure there was a Star Wars reference in here.
Now, if you stay on that last frame for a second,
Go back.
if you go back up, yeah. Do Jane and Jace look older to you?
They look bigger.
He looks
like grew up.
They were supposed to be like, what, 10 years old, 10, 12, something like that?
Teenagers?
Young, very young.
I would say
mid-teens,
yeah.
Are you sure?
I think. I'm pretty sure.
Because she is an adult woman's body there, and he's in an adult man's body there.
Well, it looks like with those, looks like he's getting kind of buff. Her arms look a little weird there. But
yeah, a 12-year-old's arms don't look that buff. And she has like
skinny mini
the hourglass shape and things that these are adult drawings. Not like that. You mean, but they're drawings of adult characters, not of children.
Yeah, these are definitely.
So they seem older to me in this. I'm kind of wondering how they're going to start acting because they are drawn that way. Well, let's see if it matches.
Let's see if it holds up, because we know that Jan and Jace, they don't do a lot. They help out. They do help out. They don't, when it comes to the fisticuffs and stuff. Yeah, haven't seen much of that. Blip has done more. We'll see it again.
All right, so the ship here is crashed in the asteroid belt. Kind of reminds me of one of my favorite episodes of TNG, where they go after the ship that decloaked in the middle of an asteroid.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Definitely. And knowing what you've known so far, what these comics do and how they, there's got to be a story. So
it's a trap. It's a trap.
It's totally a trap, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And Space Ghost is kind of like, well, maybe you should stay here, which is a good idea, just in case. And then we get the obligatory Space Ghost flying around, which is always cool. And he's like, shh. I like that. And you can see the time and space distancing here, that he's like kind of far off from the ship, but not that far.
Right.
And he shows up and he's like, hey, I don't know about just ripping the damn door off. I was like, that's a little brutal.
Yeah, if you had atmosphere inside still, that could be a bad day.
Yeah.
A bad day indeed.
I was kind of like, damn, dude. Hold on, man. Hold on a second. I mean, it's kind of funny if you think he's like.
Now, is that rip because he tore the door off, or rip because he just deleted everybody inside, or rip because he farted real bad?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm being childish today, but
it's all good, man.
I'm too used to reading the Joker,
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
well,
That moment, of course, it's a trap.
It's a trap. It's a bunch of bracks. Bunch of clone bracks.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm assuming they're clones. I was a little taken off about that. I was like, I don't know my Space Ghost lore like I think I do. Just a fan. Normie, whatever you want to call him. More than a normie, I would think. But I wasn't sure like there's more than one brack. I was like, oh, it's not far-fetched. There's a bunch of Zorak people, right? They're all the same kind of, I'd said people, but they're bracks, right? Like Klingons.
Bracks are people too.
Yeah, they're like Klingons, right? Yeah, bracks, but funnier. And they don't dance around like Klingons do these days, do they?
Let's
Brack
get
might
started.
dance,
I heard they're
Brack.
going to ruin Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Captain
yeah.
Obvious
Admiral
team.
Teague isn't here yet, but there's 2.5 hours until the next Ruination releases.
Yeah, FKC. Or 2 hours, whatever. Nice. The Captain Obvious team is what I'm going to call them from now on. Oh, watch out, Space Ghost. You've got company.
The obvious duo.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start calling the Captain Obvious team. Would you call them the what duo?
The obvious duo.
Duo. Okay, let's go with that one. To do a hybrid.
Yeah.
I like the art here, man.
So keeping with his normal tactics, Space Ghost is going to use the Force Shield. Okay.
Yeah. He's quick on the draw here. He didn't get blasted. He was ready this time around.
Now I won't be too hard on him, but he didn't stay in cover.
No.
When he's getting popped off on multiple directions, he goes right out in the open. Maybe he really trusts that Force Shield of his. Who knows? But yeah, I okay.
Yeah, and I'm liking this artwork. You get pew pew, bzz, zero, and the Force in, and the rocks, and the ship way down there. And so they're thinking, they're thinking to how can we make the cool with art? What can we do? What can we add? What can we put in here to make it better?
Now this is funny. He talks to one of the henchmen here. In case you haven't noticed, this isn't working. But luckily for you, if you calculate the angles and trajectory right, ... it just gives him an uppercut.
Oh yeah,
right up the chin.
Huge. I mean, that's a massive uppercut, dude.
Huge.
Look at that swing. Look at that upswing.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I don't think I'd take an uppercut that's like he went all the way to the ground with that, to the knees, and came up with that one.
Yeah.
Well,
he's flying in space, so he has a lot of velocity.
Yeah, well,
that's a strong
power.
Punch. Yeah, but he's flying at him. He's not just standing there with an uppercut. He's flying at him with an uppercut.
Yes, and for FKC 2005, George Lowe, we were talking about him last week. The voice, that's the voice that I hear. He passed away last year. And he did a bunch of different voices as well. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, he was in there. And a couple other things. So yeah, that's the voice I hear. And Brack, I can hear all their voices from Space Ghost Coast to Coast and from Cartoon Planet. I hear their voices, especially Brack. That's right. All right. Well, yeah, he hits him so hard he
turns him into bumpers and pinball.
And then Jace. He's like, those thugs look familiar, Space Ghost. It's like, I recommend them too, Jan. And I'm getting a little
busy for me. This is a little busy.
Well, I know there's going to be one frame here. I'm going to forewarn you that you're not going to like at all.
This is actually too busy for me already.
Yeah. So they said we better be on the lookout for your old enemy, Brack. Look no more. So I guess those were just Brack henchmen. that we were seeing, not the Brack. This is
Sure.
the Brack, because them boots
Yes.
are like he's
Yes.
rocking those boots, dude. Right. I mean, come on, dude. Damn.
Right.
He is too. All right. But yeah, the little square here on the background, you didn't really need that square. And the obvious duo is you better look out for Brack. Duh. Really? I just like took care of like 4 of them. But then this dude shows up on a little Kirby-esque Flash Gordon type. That's like that
Like
that little
a chariot, like a yeah.
yeah, that's a Flash Gordon 80 movie chariot type thing there.
It sure looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. Totally. It's a Kirby thing as well, but not as fancy. It's too plain to be Kirby, but it's definitely Flash Gordon type crap. I have no idea who this bad guy is. They call him
Tansuit.
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 Yeah,
Tansuit. Is it a play on his evildoer costume being kind of tan?
that's why I called him Tan Suit. That's what I thought. But I'm like,
It could be a pun. We'll let it go for now.
you could, yeah, I could have came up with something a little bit better there, like jerk face or something. I don't know. Tansuit.
Oh, and they have antimatter rays.
There we go. Yeah. I'm just looking at this Brack, and it would have been a great page here without all, like you're saying, without the top 2 here being thrown on into the mix there. Because what they do here.
How long did he have to go on that calf machine to get a calf like that?
Oh, dude, I know. He's cramping up. He's definitely cramping up.
Yeah.
But the cape isn't as translucent anymore. I like
Good.
that.
Good.
You get pew, pew, pew. And interesting for the art, which I like, except they're covering it up too much, is that it goes from one page to the another, and you've got Space Ghost like over from one page into the other one, or this frame.
Oh, this is all one page.
I meant frame.
This is
I
all
meant to say
page
frame.
6. Yeah. It's all one
frames.
frame. Yeah.
And I kind of like that, but it's like you said, it's just distracting with the speech bubble right there. But it does antimatter rays, which is kind of cool.
I'm torn on the direction on this, because I think the artist had, the artists have this vision, right, of how they want something to look. And Dave, I'm a big criticizer of getting too zoomed in on your comic your protagonists' faces all the time, and you can't tell what's going on or where they are. Here they maintain that, but at the cost of all the action being kind of clipped in over on top of it.
Yeah, you really have to focus in on it. Overall, I like it. It's like, wow, it's because it's huge. Space Ghost. I like the angle, from the back, I guess, looking at into what Space Ghost is looking at. But they could have made this a separate frame to make it more even better, like the art. You could have shown more. I think that's what you used to say, right? From other stuff we used to do, could have shown more. So here's Jan and Jay saying, "Oh, we're gonna go help," and I'm like, "Okay, we'll see about that." You could put some sprinkly crystals into your yogurt. Wonder what that stuff was made of. Straight chemicals.
I was just looking at that going, I know a Kennedy who really would not like that.
No.
Prepare for impact. Better hope your TV has an airbag. Okay.
Yeah, that's a upgraded old Johnny. One of my favorites from back in the day as well. I mean, God, there's so many cartoons back in the day, dude. The old school ones. Johnny Quest was so awesome. I better not do it.
Exploding across TV screens every weekday this fall. 4:35 on TBS, 8 p.m. weekdays on Cartoon Network, and 8 a.m. weekdays on TNT.
Yeah, for FKC. Yeah, Gary Owens was the original from the 60s cartoons, the late 60s cartoons, was Gary Owens. If you go back last week, that whole feature, that 5-page feature, toward the end of the show last week, if you were still around, I think you were still here for us, which I appreciate. You can go back and do frame by frame and read all of that. Gary, that's a really good article. If you haven't gone back to look at that, everyone, from last week's episode that we did, toward the end, there's a 5-page splash talking about all kinds of Space Ghost stuff, and it's really good. Okay. All right.
So, okay. So, what happens when antimatter collides with matter? Well, get a matter-antimatter reaction, and without being made of dilithium crystals, you're going to have a hard time focusing that, right? So, Space Ghost is annihilated because that's what happens when matter and antimatter collide.
I usually just get a rash, but it's, gotta go to the Walgreens.
Well, they could. The real odd thing about this is you could only have these antimatter pistols in space. You couldn't fire these in an atmosphere. You'd instantly detonate yourself because the atmosphere is made of matter, right?
You would think so.
So,
you would
interesting edge case for the creation of these. But hey,
well, I like the science though. They're throwing in some extra stuff here that you could think about, disrupting my energy band. So you have to think about that. And you're like, oh, my whole. And then I didn't see this happening. Like you said, he gets vaporized as tan suit.
Well, worse than that, he was annihilated.
Yeah.
You don't even turn into vapors. You just, the equal parts matter and antimatter annihilate one another.
And then I'm thinking, well, he's probably got phased out somewhere. But Brack, look at Brack. They're like, oh my God, he's gone. And Brack is like, oh, what a shame.
And he lost.
Brack's an evil dude. Don't get it wrong, because he's a cartoon. He's an evil guy. He's just funny on the Cartoon Planet and then Coast to Coast when we see him. But he's not nice. So Jan, or which one is this? Jace? I get them mixed up now for some reason. The obvious, would you call them the obvious duo?
Yes.
So Jan here, or Jace, is kind of like, no, you rotten guy. And Brack is like, yeah, hold your horses there, Hoss. You better back off, boy, or your atoms will be scattered across the galaxy. I'm like, woof. Brack is showing out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no joke right there. And,
but
of course,
already close enough. He could have stopped it. So she pulls him off really late.
Yeah, he's holding me back. In other words, he doesn't do a damn thing. And she hasn't done anything either. Correct? Am I wrong here?
Yeah.
Okay, so Brack is then kind of like, well, what happened was his armbands, his power bands were still floating around. And Brack gets those, that's not good. And there's a little wording here was kind of weird. So Tan Suit says, at last the power of Space Ghost is mine. Jan and Jace are behind them. They're not even looking at him. They could just fly off, but they don't.
Well, the power isn't his, it's Brack's technically, because Brack put him on.
It's so weird how they wrote this. He goes, ours, Brack. So who's he talking to? He talking to himself?
Tan Suit. They're talking to each other.
So Tan Suit says it's mine, but Brack says it's ours, Brack. So I'm like, who's Brack talking to there? Is he talking to himself? It's mine.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
You know how I am, dude. There's at least one or two every issue. I'm kind of like confused. Yeah, I think that's totally they meant.
I think they wrote those in the wrong spot.
Yes.
because Brack should be saying, at last the power of a Space Ghost is mine, because he's the one with wearing them. And then Tansuit should say, ours, Brack. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. So they got the speech bubbles backwards.
Yes.
And here's Blip hanging out. He's doing the right thing, following behind. And poor Blip is like, oh, he has to find a way to do it himself again, because Jan and Chase are useless.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. But then we get a little surprise here. Surprise, not surprise. I was just kind of wondering how they were going to do this. I initially thought that he got zapped into like a different dimension, which technically that's true. But what I mean is like a whole other planet or something, like a billion miles away. And Jan and Jace and Blip it was going to be like a feature for them, but no. But this is kind of cool. He's in, what would you call this? They say it's molecular disruption. He's like in a phase. He's phased out.
I don't really like that.
No?
No.
You're my sci-fi guy here, or tech guy to go to.
Well, he was annihilated. He wasn't pushed out of phase.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of like, nah. I mean, obviously, they shouldn't have really done it that way.
Yeah.
But anywho, or at least they shouldn't have done it where it was like blam. It should have been like
or they could have just had phase beams.
Yeah, something like that
instead of antimatter beams.
Yeah. So he's explaining to Blip. Somebody help me out in the chat. What do you guys say?
I'm calling him Blip.
I'm calling him Blip, but I say bleep every now and then. So Blip is talking to him and he's like, I have no idea. My energy bands, you have to go do this. And there we go. So somebody in the chat last week made a really funny joke that, yeah, Space Ghost is the main character and everybody else is just kind of weak sauce. Blip is the hero of the story.
Yep.
Somebody in the chat said that. I can't remember who. All right. So Blip is like, okay, man, I'll take care of it. No sweat. It's what I do, right?
Yeah.
And in the meantime, when Jan and Jace had a chance to fly off, they didn't. And I guess this is Brack Guard because he doesn't have those kick-ass boots. He's only got these kind of boots. It'd be good for winter, I guess. And he's got a collection of helmets up here. And he's got them in a cage that looks like every single space cage you'll ever see in sci-fi.
Yeah.
But I like this. He's got a pretty cool rifle here. And he's got it slung shoulder arms.
Oh.
Got a little detail in the back on the floor. They try. I like this. You got the helmets. He's like us, JT. He collects a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
So I don't know if they're functional or he's just a geek. He's got a bunch of space movie helmets on his wall there. Probably functional because it's a jail or that's the brig.
Sure.
But look at his left hand. He's like, swish, you just be quiet. So it's like, stop, just shut the F up. Be quiet. And they thought to put that little swish in there that we always started talking about since Black Panther days. The swish. And he's like, don't count on it. Those two creeps will pay for what they did to Space Ghost. And I'm like, who's he talking to? Again, it's weird.
Oh, he's talking to the guard.
Yeah, the guard is like, you aren't going anywhere. And he's like, don't count on it. Those two creeps will pay for what they did to Space. Okay.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. And this is hilarious. This is so funny. Look what Bleep is getting ready to do.
Yep. Gonna throw it and bonk him. Yeah.
Bonk, bonk. I have got to get that on a soundbite because we've been using it every week. Bonk, bonk, and here it is. Bonk. So Bleak takes the guy out, and then goes crazy on him here. Crazy on you. Starts beating the crap out of him, but he's already knocked out. He's like, good work, boy. Now get us out of here. But
cash me outside. How about that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And Space Ghost just materializes because he's in phase, or is he out of phase? Okay, which one is it, JT?
He's out of phase.
He's out of phase. Okay. He's out of phase, but he's able to communicate verbally with Jan and Jason Bleep, obviously. And he's like, I need you to get the power bands, blah, blah, blah. But he already told Bleep to do that. So no, that will help you take care of those two creeps, Brack and Tansen. I'm like, you're right. I'm totally like, Jan and Jace, you got to do something. What do you guys do? Seriously, you push a couple buttons, you point stuff out. And JT, what are they carrying on their backs? Are those
Those are their jetpacks.
jetpacks that they don't have here?
Well, that's because they were in the jail.
So they grabbed some jetpacks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Because all their stuff that they got when they were detained was probably in a locker or something.
Nice. With the helmets and the suits and the jetpacks. Got
Yep.
it. Cool. Kind of like the Alien, where you got all that crap in the locker.
Now, what is funny is when they put them in detainment, they let them keep their masks on.
Nobody
wouldn't
knows
it be
who
the
they are.
first thing you take? Anyway.
Yeah, because nobody in the universe knows who that guy is right there. Especially Blip or Bleep.
Exactly.
Nobody knows who Bleep is. Oh my gosh, he took the mask off. It's Bleep. It's classic stuff. It's good. Hey, look, Brack is just kicking it up, man. He's like, we already have the Ghost Planet, the Phantom Cruiser, and his power bands. We're good. We're good like that. And I like how he's just chilling, man. He's just like, we got this in the bag. He's got his feet up on the counter.
No guards anywhere.
No more Brack. Just had the one. Took and Bleep took his ass out.
So how'd they ever get back to the Ghost Planet if they didn't have the Phantom Cruiser?
Well, Brack stole it.
Right. So how did Jan and Jace get back?
Well, they're in the Phantom Cruiser brig. That part I did get.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're in the brig on the ship.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah. That's the only way I could make sense of it, because he's sitting in, that's the cruiser, that is the Phantom Cruiser. Not the brig, Star Trek, help me out. The bridge.
Yes.
But it's just a ship. It's just I wouldn't call it a bridge, but whatever. Everybody gets it.
Yep.
And Blip again. Now this is crazy because you've got Jan and Jace. And Jace is a full-grown dude at this point, which, like you mentioned, or he's a full-grown teenager at least.
Yeah.
Looks like it. But he lets Blip do the dirty work. They helped out. They helped out after Blip kicks the shit out of Brack before Brack gets jumped. And they take the power bands off him like it's nothing, like Thanos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just what? How'd that happen? I don't know. Just go with it. Don't know. Critical drinker. Yes. Sorry. Stole that from you. And I give credit. So what they're really good at is pushing buttons here. So they push some buttons.
They reverse the polarity of the gloves, whatever that means.
I've seen this before during all our sci-fi years. Reversing polarity is not anything new in sci-fi world. But what's curious is you're right. They grab the jetpacks and they take off. And funny enough, though, Brack suntan suit tan guy here is just kind of standing around playing dumb. And I'm like, so go catch him. Nope. He's just gonna chill. He doesn't care. I'm like, all right. So this is definitely written for kids. This whole issue is just nothing but for kids. Because it's kind of silly and funny at the same time. And all of a sudden, Jane and Jace were like, oh, here's your power bands. And JT, like you were talking about, they reverse the polarity. but they
Yes.
said they didn't do it on their own. See what I'm getting at? Well, they did it. They did the work, but it was because Space Ghost told them to. See that?
Mhm.
Just like you said, JT, like you said, Space Ghost to them. So he told them they're supposed to be really smart, but they don't get. I'm not giving them enough credit, but this is the third issue, and they do help out. They do help out. I mean, they got them. They got those back, but Blip could have done that too. Eh. So what do you think about this whole reverse polarity? And then he uses them to do another kabooey and bring himself back because he reversed it. Right?
Right.
Oh,
there's
I mean,
another
it's fine.
kaboom, and yeah, things look kind of weird. I don't know what that red and white patch is supposed to be. But they say he must have been vaporized. Why? I mean, he wasn't the first time.
No, I don't know why he thinks that he got vaporized, but Suntan Suit finally got up to speed here, got on his Flash Gordon mobile and chased after him finally. A little bit too late, but it's all good. And he's like, "No, we've lost the power bands, but we are invincible. We're still invincible."
Then he says, "Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?"
Yeah, Space Ghost comes back. I love the artwork though. Well, at least the Space Ghost part of it. Swooping in like that. It's cool by me. I mean, this issue is just like I warned JT backstage before we came on. It's just really a kid's cartoon issue again, even more so than next week now that I think about it. But it is Cartoon Network. That's what it's designed for. But interestingly enough, there's a letter that I'll show if we get to it. Guy's like, "Hey, I'm in my 30s and I still love this stuff." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm 56 and I love this stuff.
Sure.
Get out of here." And R.I.P. to Clobber at times. He was older than us and he loved all this stuff. Mostly.
Oh yeah.
Mostly.
Oh yeah.
There's a few things he didn't care for. Like an episode of a Star Trek show that I know he went on a 20-minute rant about one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was epic. Epic. Oh God, did he tear into that? Oh, it was so good. Brutal. But it was good that he did it because he was telling the truth. He was speaking his truth, JT.
Oh, well, that's the important thing.
Yes. Oh, so lucky enough to have got to know him at least a wee bit. I did a couple streams with him. Lucky enough for me.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I did a little bit with him too, but not nothing too huge. So,
yeah, well, they had the shows going on, so every now and then we got to meet.
Bobby was a busy man.
Yeah, we got
streaming almost every single night of the week.
Back in the day, I was on YouTube 7 days a week, man. On my midnights and Saturdays every now and then. But yeah, without doubt, at least 6-7 days a week.
6-7.
Yeah.
You're not in on it.
No.
I'll let you look up 6-7 after the show on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the frame that I said that JT is going to absolutely hate, even if he likes the art, but the art's all the same. It's good. I like the art. I've said it about 10 times already. So that's a given. We're getting into that part where I would say that you are going to say this kind of dragging out. It's not us because they're just doing the same thing. Suntan Suit's flying around and he really isn't doing much except getting his ass kicked.
Shooting at him again, back and forth, pew pew.
Yeah.
We've had like half a page so far that isn't people fighting. So you'll be spending some quality time with an iron ore satellite. Okay.
Well, he uses this magnetic ray, which I like because they're thinking. the writers.
Yeah.
They're thinking it's or let me use magnetic, right? And slam his ass with an asteroid. That's pretty good. I like that. But they did these cut angles that I know you can't stand, and I don't like if they use it too much. Was that the Spectre? Was that Spectre that was doing that? Was it the one issue of Spectre? A couple of those were like, we're getting really, really tired of that.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
It got obnoxious. So bye. It doesn't matter. This time I'll finish the job. Not with your aim. I'll use my magnetic ray. Okay. So then he get, all that. Brack's trying to escape in the Phantom Cruiser. I guess that means he's not so invincible after all.
Yeah, so that was the Star Wars joke. Not with your aim. So I was like, oh. Anyway.
Okay. I didn't get it.
I know that's just me. It was silly for me. It's like, I was thinking Stormtroopers. I don't think they did it on purpose there. Not like last week with Lord of the Rings. That was they absolutely homaged Lord of the Rings like crazy last week.
Right.
And see, this artwork is pretty much is what's going to hold the grade on this for me. Again, but I think we pointed out, like when the Phantom Cruiser's flying out, they have little swooshes there, and they still maintain all this artwork. And then JT's favorite type of artwork, right here, right after I give them credit. What do they do? Nothing in the background.
Right.
But if you notice his cape, it's really weathered and beat up to show that he's been out there in a fight.
Yes. Yep.
I like that. Obviously, you knew I was going to say that, but I knew JT's like, and they're right back to the doing the nothing. So I don't know if he's like shooting a one little finger beam thing here.
He is hurting his own ship, but okay. That's a pretty darn good aim all the way through space, right there on the ejection button.
Yeah.
A little perfect, a little too perfect.
I was thinking that's probably not what I would have gone with here. You shot your window out.
It exactly hit the ejection button.
Well, forgive me for my sci-fi theory, everybody here, but even if you're in an airplane and you're not even at the top of the earth yet, you're close enough to that. If the window shattered, what would happen? How many bazillion sci-fi movies have we seen this? But he hit the eject button, which is kind of funny. So he got sucked out into space anyway.
Right.
You're following, right?
I
mean, this is for kids. It's not. It wasn't for us. Oh, this is in 97. I was thinking 67 again. So 30 years ago or more. I can't add. I'm not trying to. Sorry, Brack, but I couldn't let you get away without a small token of my appreciation. At this, I laughed. This was great. So Brack is hurtling through space. Space Ghost's kind of pissed off now, I think. He's irritated. He's got to go through all this crap. And JT, he winds up on him.
But we don't get to see it.
But we don't. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Because that's exactly what I was like, okay. And then I'm like, where is it? What happened? They don't show it. And I'm like, how? Oh, dude, don't steal away from my great, my likability here. You set this up for an amazing shot. He winds up and he's gonna just give it to Brad, dude. Then they don't show it, just like you said, JT. And I'm like, for reals? And then somebody in the chat last week, I don't know if whoever that was here also mentioned, maybe it was that FKC. Maybe did you bring this up that they always put them together in the cockpit or the bridge at the end of the show as well? Somebody said that. And there it is.
I don't remember.
Yeah, somebody in the chat. It might have been 2 weeks ago that we were talking about Space Ghost and the cartoons and all that kind of stuff. And then somebody in the chat said, yeah, they always put the whole crew, all of them together in the cockpit there. And I think they were referencing the actual cartoon itself. And I was like, well, you're right. And there it is. There it is. All of them together. Great scene with Brack in suntan suit back in the brig. That's what I was telling you about. Because JT, I know that I read this and I know you haven't read it yet. So that is the Phantom Cruiser with its own brig back there way in the back.
It is. Yeah.
And so Space Ghost is
it's kind of like the Mandalorian, the Slave One, or sorry, Boba Fett's starship.
It's not what it was called when I grew up. Yeah. So they have a little brig in the back there. Oh, yeah, of course, he's a bounty hunter. He has to probably has a couple of cells back there, doesn't he? Mandalorian,
probably.
Anywho, so Jan and Jace again. What did they do?
Basically nothing. I mean, they were captured again.
Yeah, and they actually only assisted Blip, who again knocked out two, a Brack minion and Brack himself. The Brack, he's rocking those red boots back there. And Space Ghost is like, I never felt any better because the fist is sore from Brack's hard head. That's not very funny, Space Ghost, but I was a little miffed that they didn't show it. They definitely ruined an opportunity there. And then you can see back issues going. There's only $2 for the Jetsons, Flintstones, and Scooby-Doo, which is quite popular on the comic as well. I wouldn't mind getting some of those old Hanna-Barbera Presents or All Stars. Those are probably really good. I used to have all those. Well, not those, some. Then there's a Cartoon Network mailbox from Archie Comics, and you can write letters and that kind of stuff. I'll go slow enough for everybody. We're not going to go through these unless anything catches your eye. JT, stop me. And people are just like, oh, we love your stuff. Oh, there's the guy. It's this one. Oh, it's a Mary Hoffman from Seminole, Florida. Well, that's not too far from me. Like an hour, 2 hours, 2 hours, I think. She goes, I'm 30-something and still enjoy comics. As you can imagine, I'm just thrilled about the new Hanna-Barbera comics. I'm collecting Scooby-Doo, and why would you not? Scooby-Doo's a classic. And here's a good question from her. You know how you would say, oh, Marvel has those old stamps in them, like in Werewolf by Night, Tomb of Dracula, stuff like that, JT?
Okay.
You know, the old Marvel stamps. And you could cut them out and send them in, but now imagine 30, 40 years later, you have a whole run of Tomb of Dracula and 7 of them are cut up to pieces.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, well, damn, because now that's going to cost me to get those back. She asked a question here. How would I like to send in for your Super Saver subscription, but I don't want to tear the order pages out? Would a photocopy be acceptable? I was like, that's a damn good question. And they said, sure, a photocopy would be just fine. I was like, very nice of you guys. That's cool. Because I can't imagine people now who kept all those comics and like they're all cut out and stuff. Like you mail order stuff for the toys, like you and I and Hungry Boy did that show with D-Bud. You're talking about all those stuff. I know I used to cut stuff up and stuff like that. I can't imagine having a Tomb of Dracula #1 or whatever. I've got some Werewolf by Nights that have the Marvel stamps in them. But trying to get the key issues from those are expensive, dude, very expensive. Anything in good condition for those are you can pay some grand plus. But hey. So here's Metalis. Remember Metalis?
Terry Metalis?
Yeah, remember Metalis we did last week? The out of all the.
Oh,
So I'm not going to go through this one, guys, because of JT. How's your time?
I have just after 10.
Okay, so you're good right now. You're good with what I know you needed to take care of some stuff.
Well, this one goes back to Dino Man.
Yeah, I'm just going to breeze through this.
Okay.
Crank the thing
Go
real
for it.
quick.
Go for it.
So we got. I didn't know this was even in here. I happened to just go through it. I almost skipped the whole thing. I thought maybe it was just going to be more like comic book ads. So that's the only reason why I even scrolled down. And I knew there was going to be a Dino Boy, but I was just going to skip Dino Boy. And I thought, depending on time. But what they have is they brought Metalis back. And if you remember, we ran into Metalis already in one of our other issues. Go back and watch our show. Subscribe and like. Right, everyone? Yay. He gets thrown through time. You know, if anybody really wants to read this, they can just pause it. But I like the crazy artwork and stuff. It's all pretty much the same. But there's poor little blip. They're hurled into the past. And that's the setup. Now, the one thing that I thought was kind of funny was there's Dino Boy on his little dino friend, but Blip he landed in the top of this tree. And poor Space Ghost goes all the way down. And I didn't see this at first. Little Blip. Oh, that's probably best for him to land into the tree. Probably wasn't as rough. But Dino Boy's caveman friend, his name is actually Ugg. And I didn't catch on. I'm so stupid. It's like, whoa, what was that, huh? I was like, huh? What? You follow me, JT? Oh, I didn't really catch on. I was like, what's he saying? And he's like, I don't know. And I thought he was just saying, I'm not making fun of the character, actually. I'm making fun of myself because I didn't catch on. There's poor little Blip, a bunch of cavemen running around Space Ghost, or I don't know. They're not really cavemen here, but whatever. That guy is. The other guy is Ugg. They pick up Space Ghost, take him, and it's kind of like, oh, wait a minute. This dude's name is Ugg.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. And I didn't catch on because the way they write it, it's like, never seen a man like that. Me neither, huh? And I was like, wait, me neither, Ugg? Oh. And then this dude sneaks up in the bushes with a big ass club. So I had a little fun with this one. And but guess who saves the day, everyone?
Blip.
Little Blip. Yeah.
Yep.
And even Ugg says
Every time.
Monkeys save us, like, well, it certainly isn't Jan and Jace because they're not even around on this one. And he took out the nose ring guy. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, I'm just going to go through this real fast. Anybody wants to check it out, there's an Archie very nice PSA for handicapped people. Oh, look at Betty. Or is that Veronica? I can't remember. Help me out. Which one's the brunette? Betty. I think it's Veronica. Gosh, I can't remember now. Anyhow.
That one is Veronica.
Veronica. All right. Yeah, so Jace is actually helping here. He's fixing stuff. So I guess they can fix the ship and do stuff like that. So they are valuable when it comes to doing that kind of thing. Technical stuff. Fisticuffs, just send in Blip. He'll take care of it. Anyway, this like I said, we're just breezing through this for everybody. Just if you want to read it, just pause it when you're going back because it doesn't take too long to get through all of this. But what I found interesting here is JT. Space Ghost gives an offer to Dino Boy to come back to his own time. and he doesn't take it. He thinks it's okay. Wow, I don't know about that, JT. What would you do if you were living with dinosaurs and cave? And then you got a friend, you got two friends, a dino and caveman guy, ugh. But if you had already previously lived in a time before, like now, and you got sent back to there,
I don't know.
Would you stay?
No. No.
Well, I mean, depends if your parents took your PS5 away or something. Maybe. You'd be like, who cares?
But here you go. Yeah. Best place for cartoons has something utterly new.
Yeah, look, Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that a lot, but I know Nick Weiser and a few of the other guys. They know Johnny Bravo. Do you know
Yes.
Johnny Bravo?
Probably not as well as them.
Buddy Hepburn.
I instantly recognized him, though.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. We just finished. Kind of brief.
Almost, yeah.
Almost.
It was a shorter issue this week.
Yeah. And they had a Dino Boy issue if you just missed it, buddy. But we breezed through that one. 48 original never before seen cartoons back then. And back when Cartoon Network,
the last page.
Yeah, well, FKHC said it. Back when Cartoon Network was good, the 80s was just an absolute explosion of cartoons that grown men and women like JT and myself, but JT's more of the Star Trek and that kind of stuff. But even then, collect these figures and stuff like the lady in the letters. And I'm 30 and I love this stuff. And I'm like, I'm 56, man.
Right. Keep going through.
Past this page here.
Yep. Past that page.
Well, really quick then. This is the one-page thing talking about Space Ghost. So, like last week, what I might do is cut these out now that I'm running into more than just the one. But the thing is, you can always go back and read them. They should have actually put this in the front of the comic, JT, too. It's like a little...
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah, it's like a little foreword for Space Ghost. And I was like, oh, why did you put this way at the end? This is really nice. And they talk about Jan and Jace, that the only thing they can do is turn invisible, but they're smart. I know I'm hard on them, but it's only because they're the way they're written. I know they're very, very smart. They just don't do much as far as, but they fix things. So that's good. They mention a character here that I had never heard of, but yeah. So how far down do you want to go?
The next page after that.
To the Archie one here?
No, the next one.
Oh, after this one. This one. Keep going.
Keep going. The next page.
Jimmy Dean?
Oh, yes.
That's Jughead.
Yeah. What the hell are flapsticks?
Probably sausages. Let me see.
They are like breakfast corn dogs.
Oh yeah, they're like corn dogs but sausages instead.
Yeah, breakfast corn dogs.
Yeah. Nice. Sorry.
Yeah, buddy, I love them too. They're in no way healthy for you.
Oh no.
But they try to pretend with the turkey and pork. But yeah.
Yeah, the flapsticks. I guess you would put syrup over them instead of ketchup on the hot or mustard.
I mean, why not? Right? You've already like a 500 calorie, whatever that is.
Oh, good gosh! Back then too. Oof.
Yeah,
but you know what? I bet it was probably, besides the cholesterol, saturated fat, it was probably not bioengineered either. I don't think
late 90s. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right.
I want to know if Nick ate any of these as a kid, though.
I'm sure he probably did. But you're right. It's not that long ago. So, and then
The modern, you can still get these at Walmart, but the modern packaging is so much different. Like they don't show the, I don't know. Yeah, it's just very different packaging now.
yeah, I just want to go back and for Buddy, there's Blip saving the day again, Buddy, in case you had missed it. All right, JT. What did you think? I mean, not a powerhouse week, but we're just following along the evolution of Space Ghost. We had 66, 67 to all the way to 87.
So this is the
97.
same story again. This is the same story we've already read the last 2 weeks, but it's shorter. And I don't know if it's better. I kind of like the artwork better in the 87 one or the 84, whatever year that was. The 80s version,
80s,
I think, was
87.
actually better. This
Yeah,
one,
87.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not
This-
really much
this-
to say about this week's issue. I mean, it was functional. It was great. I mean, it was fine. Artwork was good.
$1.50 and 97. I mean, that was a cheaper comic, right?
Yeah, the other one was was it 250 and then 350 Canada or 350, 450 Canada from last week?
Might have been.
Can't remember.
But
I,
yeah, loosely labeled 14 pages of story is very, very short.
yeah, is that
I
including Dino Boy and the
No.
Metallicon?
Dino Boy is after. I'm just talking regular Space Ghost.
Yeah,
You get the next story with Dino Boy. That is another 8 pages only.
yeah.
all
So
the ads.
the 87 one was 350, but it was like a special, very long issue, if I remember right. It was that the 3-parter, and this one was $1.50. Correct. You're correct. Only $1.65 Canada, but it was $3.50 US for last week's for the 87 one. Yeah, this is fun. It was pretty basic. Not a lot to it. I mean, the Brack was funny. Blip came to the rescue. The art was good. I think the art last week was way better, but it's only really because they did that special color, super coloring to it, that they added that, which is really awesome. I don't know why they would go away from it. Probably money. They didn't want to spend the money on it. That's what I'm assuming. You got to pay for the person to do it. Then you got to pay for the materials and the printing. And I don't know if that matters. Once you decide on what you're going to pay to print, then you just do it. So, Buddy, let me get the comments here. What do we got, Buddy? Can't read it. But freshman back. Still known people who weren't stoners. Oh, they didn't know who Aqua Teen Hunger Force was.
Yeah. Like back in 2005, like Adult Swim was still pretty new, and so like a lot of this stuff totally under the radar, right?
Oh, totally. And
South Park was in its heyday, but trying to remember. I think Family Guy was in its like 6th season at that point, so it was in its heyday as well. And since, I mean, this is a long time now for that kind of a thing, but it didn't surprise me they eventually screwed it up, right?
no, of course not. I'm looking for my C Lab. Well, where's my C Lab meme? Oh, I can't find it. So yeah, in touching on that, what you said and what Buddy's saying there, that C Lab, I wrote into all that with C Lab, and I can't find the damn picture. Sorry, I don't know where it went. But because you're not that familiar with C Lab, are you, JT?
No.
C Lab 2021. I think I have. Okay, here's the whole cast. I'll do the one with Buckethead Wendy, which is hilarious. So there's the cast. And where's Marco here, the guy to the our right? That's Eric Estrada from Chips, who voices that guy. It's hilarious.
I mean, I've seen that, but I didn't really watch it, but I've seen that.
Well, the captain here is an outright psychopath, but he's funny. And then I think they actually make reference to him being an escaped psychopath. But the voice guy who did that was, let's see, Captain Murphy. Voice guy. Voice actor. He unfortunately passed away. Harry Gause. He was so good, dude. So good as Captain Murphy. And some of the special features, or they have little things after each episode. They have a little clip while the credits roll.
Mm-hmm.
And he does a voice from Archie, like with Archie Bunker. I had to eat it. I can't do it, dude. And it's like it's a nipple joke, but he's using Archie Bunkers, and it's the cast people. The directors are talking to Harry Gause behind the scenes. They're not filming it, but they're actually recording it. And he's like, Harry, do this voice, and he does this voice, and then he's like, hey, do it with Archie Bunker, and he does the Archie. Hey there, it's so good, and he just does a bunch of voices. But anyway, so yeah, he was awesome. And that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's it. I mean, we still managed to get almost an hour and a half in this evening. I know it was a little bit shorter of a night, but the comic was just short, right? I think last week we did a super long one.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that was
time
brutal.
to balance it out, right?
Yeah, and so now we can do little things like we're talking about now for anybody who's still around or watches it or hung out this long. Most people miss this stuff because they're probably like, I'm out. But we should do separate shows when we talk about this stuff. Just ramble on about this. This is classic stuff. It might not be up to a lot of people's speed, but the humor in it is phenomenal. And buddies like Rick and Morty, Final Space, Smiling Unicorn, all this stuff, especially Rick and Morty. And then Aqua Teen. I don't have any pictures, but you know Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, I had some sweet mates that, well, I won't comment on their extracurricular activities, but they were super into that, and I
sure.
never understood. In fact, I found it quite annoying.
It's an acquired taste, and the thing about it is Carl, the neighbor, the guy from Jersey, he's always wearing the sweats and the tank top. He's just a gross dude. I think that character is just so phenomenal. Without him, that show is a little different. Of course, you could say that about any show. And then I wanted to go back to FKHC. We talked about Roger Ramjet, which is in that 5-page cutout from last week at the end of the show. And he's correct. That was Gary Owens, and he's featured in that. That's what I was talking about there. And
what I did like about that Adult Swim though back then was just they the early days they were able to put on weird stuff and let it flop or succeed.
Was
They
Courage
didn't care if they put on the strangest stuff you've ever seen just to see if it would work,
Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking, was Courage the Cowardly Dog on Cartoon Network? I want to think that he is. I'm trying to look it up here. Cartoon Network. Yeah, I was right on that. That was a wild show. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
He let me pull this up, open image and a new thing. Let me see if I can share that. And then, of course, I got to go back. It's such a pain in the ass. That's Courage the Cowardly Dog. Lives way out. I don't know. You could just say like in the middle of Nebraska or Iowa or something like that, way out west. and he wound up living with these older people, and he just gets into like crazy adventures. Some of it can be supernatural, some of it could just be crazy people. But JT, there's just wild, and I mean, just I don't even know if it's for kids. Some of the episodes, one of them, how should I say this on YouTube? Some characters that were in there had their skin suits off, peeled, and they were hanging from a clothesline.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. That's like probably the worst of the worst. I haven't seen them all. I've seen a few of them, quite a few of them. There's UFOs and there's ghosts and like I said, just regular crazy people, zombies. And you get the gist of it. And he has to save them. The guy's like a real old cantankerous, and she's just a little sweet old lady that he's always trying to help. and it's funny. But remove that. All right. Any last words? We'll get out of here early, everyone.
Nope. We'll get out of here early.
Yeah, I don't even know if
time back in their night.
Yeah, so thanks to FKC 2005, who was there all for us, Buddy Hepburn. I thought somebody else had popped in.
No, but me.
Yeah, a few people in.
A light show tonight. That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. That's all good. I can always watch the rerun. And I forgot to do my PSA announcement. It's just too late now. But if you're still with us and you want to do comicsonline.com, get an ad blocker. Do it. Or you're going to regret it. But JT, do we even need a score on this one?
It's a B.
It's B minus. B. It's good. All right, what you got going on? Any big plans for even tonight or tomorrow?
I'll be likely going through the roof tomorrow night on Admiral Teague's, assuming I don't get called in for work.
What's up?
And
is it
early
Academy
tearing
again?
apart? Yeah, Starfleet Remedial Alternative High School.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. That'll be what I'm doing tomorrow. And then Friday, probably doing some late night Fortnite, Mark D with the C, 11:30 p.m. Eastern.
Cool. And then are you doing Enterprise on Saturday?
Yes, sir.
Oh, buddy, are you talking about the comics? The Spider-Man comic? Let's see. I'm still going through the first Marvel team up. Oh, the team ups. Oh, nice. Nice. Buddy, you got to check out that one eBay thing that I showed you. They do those weekly sales, and if you want to pick up Spider-Man or full runs on that, that's a great place. Real quick, let me do that. Well, I'll probably do that early in the show. Buddy, just DM me. It's the eBay one I've shown you before. JT, I've shown it to you, a couple of those, but this one, that's the guy who does neat stuff collectibles. It's every week. I don't know how he gets these, but if you hold off and you want to get, like, let's say you want to get 100 through 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400 of the original run of Amazing Spider-Man, he has them on there every now and then.
Yeah.
What they've done, I think, over the years is they've started collecting from stores that sell out, or and then they get stuff and they get people just send them. And let's say I want to sell something, I don't want to do it on eBay. They come and buy it and then they sell it, do it, whatever with it, But they have just absolutely insane type of deals. Like you can't really believe it. At one point, JT, my detective skills started to kick in, if you get what I drift.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not color collectibles. That's a bunch of He-Man stuff. If you want this one, here it is. Let me put it in I'll just put it right here in the chat for anybody who's still here. This and I don't know these people. I have bought from them. They're pretty much on the up and up. If they say they're decent comics, they're decent. If they're bad, they're bad. Grade wise. If they're good, they're good. They've never really screwed me up. But the stuff that they have, you're like, how the hell did you get that? And why would you sell it? Oh, because they've got copies. So what I think they've done is they found some stores that had literally these runs, and every now and then they'll have even from like 34. I know they did one below 50, but 50 Amazing Spider-Man is a very big key issue. Anything 1 to 50 is key at this point, right, JT? I mean, shit. If you can get anything between 1 and 50 in Amazing Spider-Man, that's definitely a key issue, all of them. But you can get those. Sometimes I've seen them do like 73 to 110 or 100 and then do blocks 100 to 200. And you're like, wow. And they go for a lot of money, dude. A lot of money. And I've seen some of those blocks go for $4 or $5 grand easily. And that's cheap. I think it's cheap for getting 100 to 200, especially 100 to 200 of Amazing Spider-Man with the Punisher issue. And the Punisher issue alone in a 7 is a couple grand. But anyway, JT, I'm rambling. So, but
all good.
Yeah. So,
all right, what do you have going on?
Same as you, buddy. No movie night tomorrow. I'm still in the doghouse. Not sure if I want to keep doing that because my C Lab, I didn't try to download it. Maybe if I get my C Labs downloaded, I'll do an impromptu one, and then I'll probably get caught and get in trouble. But anyway, buddy thinks Jimmy Dean sausages are the bomb. So, all right, Friday night, maybe Fortnite if I'm still awake. I do want to do something Saturday. I'll probably stop by and say hello and then lurk on your Saturday show, and probably stop by tomorrow and say hello and lurk and be in the chat for you. What time's that start tomorrow? 9 Eastern?
Yes.
9 Eastern. Okay. And Sunday, maybe or maybe not be on with Mark D or the C, 10 o'clock Eastern. He has his geekery show, which is a pretty good show. So other than that, I will say good night to everybody. Buddy, FKHC, thank you so much as always. We appreciate it. Take care.
Bye.